It will not turn green. So because already selected, it's in a selected, or it's in a revealed state, so you can't reveal it again, so that's good. Welcome back to Arcade. I am Super Tommy, and this is a series on using Phaser Editor 2D to create the memory match game that we made in a previous tutorial and on our blog. So Memory Match is a Mario Party inspired memory game where you have this character that walks around and to find matches. So you can select these boxes to get matches. So we left off by creating this level. So with Phaser Editor 2D, we can very easily design our level however we want visually, so we can make something more interesting like this design that we have. I'm just going to put on the left side. Like this odd design that we have, right? You can do whatever you want. Since it's almost no mental cost for you to figure out how to lay this out this way. You just drag and drop things, or you just drag things around. These boxes, you can just drag them around and place them in the scene. So we went over prefabs and components in the last two videos, so definitely look at those if you're not familiar. Now what we're going to do is see what to know when a box can be opened. So we'll have to add this player collide, handle player box collide method into our scene. So let's do that. So I'm just going to call that this. I'm going to come here. Let's go to our level.js here. So we did depth sorting previously, and here's our collider. And the callback is going to be this. It's going to be undefined for the process callback, and the scope is this. So now we're going to do handle player collide, and let's see. So we probably is going to be box, and then it's going to be player. That's my guess. Let's see what we get. So phaser dot, let me do this. Let's see if we can do that. Yes. Okay. Param. So this is going to be phaser dot game objects dot sprite, and that's this layer. Okay. Great. Save. So when it collides, so let's actually do. Let's do that so that we can see it. We can run it by clicking that. And then now there's an error. It's not defined. Let's see. Ah, yes. This. Run. All right, so if I run into a box, there we go, sprite. First one is a sprite with a body, and is this body static? Let's see, static. Maybe not. Let's see. So let's see what the other thing would be. This could be backwards. Oh, maybe it is backwards, since I had it like that. Let's just try that. Save, run. Box. Okay, so the box is the second parameter, so good. So now we have that. Let's go back to this example. So we want this. This will be different. Let's just copy that. So let's make an active box in our constructor here. This dot active box, and it's just going to be nothing. Save. And just type it to box or undefined. Undefined. Yep, that's good. I think that's right. Okay, active box, and then instead of set frame, we're going to do set texture, and the texture key that we're going to use is from here. So let's see, 9, I think it's green. When we get close to a box, it's going to be green, so crate 05. Let's go here, crate 05. Save. Now let's see what we got. There we go. So that's working. So now we want to know when you're too far from the box. So I think we can actually take this entire thing. This is still good. Let's cover here, come down here, just paste this code in. Let's see. So this dot player, that's still good. That looks good. So once we are far away, set texture to be crate, I believe it is 06. So let's just see, crate 06. Run. Oh no, I have to actually call this update active box in update. This dot update active box. Okay, now run. Okay, it's not crate 06. Oh, crate. Run it again. Nice. Okay, so that's working. Cool. See, it's easy. Now we have to figure out what is actually in the box. Now, so we had this, but we don't actually have to do it this way because we have Phaser Editor and a scene editor to make all these changes. What we can do is make another component, and we're going to do that. So we can skip probably some of this. We're going to do this a little bit differently. Let's come out here, go to our components. As you'll see, some of the code is similar, some of the code is different, just because we have a different paradigm to work with. We don't have to do it the same way the previous tutorials did it. So let's call this item holder component, and that's good. Save, generates our item holder here. Let's double click this to open it. And what we're going to want to do, let's go back here actually. We're going to want to add a property here like we did for the physics component, if you recall. So what we're going to do here is, let's call it item name or item key. We'll just call this item name for now. I'll make myself smaller. So each box is going to have this item holder component, and then we're just going to, in the editor, in the scene editor, specify what item is in the box, which to me is more intuitive than doing this. But when you're working with only code, this is probably the easiest way to think about it. Maybe not, or at least easy to edit. So once we have this editor here, we can do it like this. So actually, instead of that, we're going to go to our box prefab, add component, add our item holder component, and there should be a default. So let's just say the default is bare. Save that. Let's go back. Now we can go to our scene, and let's say this guy, item name. I would like a default, so let's just go back here now. Default here. Default is bare. I would have no default. May not matter, but I would just like it to have a default. Just remove it and re-add it. Delete, item holder, bare. Okay, save. Go back out to here, item holder, default is bare. So we don't always want it to be a bare. So let's just say this one is a bare, but let's just say then this one, we don't want it bare. So we click this little lock icon, we can unlock it. So that means this instance of the box will have this property be different that we're setting instead of using the same one that is set in the prefab itself. So let's call this chicken. So in memory match, there's going to be duck, chicken, penguin, a couple other birds. Here we go, chicken, duck, parrot, penguin, and then bear. Bear is Bowser, where if you select the bear, you're going to be frozen for a second and you can't move. So chicken, Go here, same thing, and let's call this parrot. Right, you get to design this level like this now. Let's call this penguin. And let's say this is penguin. Then let's say this is, what was the other bird? Duck. And then now let's say this is duck. Now I have a parrot somewhere. Let's say this is parrot. Parrot. And now this will be chicken. This is offset. Go. Chicken. Save. So now each box has an item holder component that has the item name in it, and it's going to correspond with the PNG file. So let's upload those PNGs as well. Go to the assets folder, right click, go to upload, let's browse. And we're going to use Kenny's assets here. Let's go out to here. We're going to use Kenny assets 41, 2D. Actually, it's Animal Pack Redux. I think this is it. So no, there's Animal Pack Redux. 2D assets, Animal Pack Redux. We'll go with the square ones. So we want bear, chicken, duck, parrot, penguin. I think that's it. Open. Upload. Now we want to add these images to our asset pack JSON file. Let's save that, asset pack JSON. Now we have our birds here. These are pretty big in size relative to our other assets. So I think our box is 64, so it's twice as big. We're just going to scale them down. Okay, so we have that. We have our assets, so we don't have to do this, right? This is going to happen for us by having our assets in the assets pack. Opening a box. So we're going to actually put this in our item holder. So our item holder is going to reveal and hide things that is held by any item that has an item holder component. And so we're going to do something similar here, but we're going to call it reveal in our item holder. So let's come down to our components, item holder, and we're going to make a method here called reveal. And let's see, so if box, well, that's just itself. Delete that. So what we're going to do is really only care about this tween. Let's just take this tween. What the reveal does is tween the item, which we're going to make here. So we're going to do this dot, let's call this the display, and it'll be nothing, but it will be an image. It'll be undefined. Type phaser dot game objects dot image, and then we are going to want, let's just say when we reveal, we create it. So if not, this dot display equals, we want the scene, const scene, this dot game object dot scene. So I will access the scene dot add dot image, and we're going to want to be on the XY of the game object, XY, this dot game object. So XY, and then the texture string is just going to be item name. Just to confirm, we can go to our asset pack here. Name is bear, chicken, duck, parrot, penguin, which is what we used when we set up the boxes for the item holder component. Let's go back out here, item holder. So we create the display if there is no display. Now in the memory mesh tutorial, we use the groups that can reuse sprites. Same thing's going to happen here, except each item holder makes its own sprite and then reuses that sprite over and over again, which is effectively the same thing. So we're going to do that. I'm going to go here. Target is this dot display. Go up minus, so this dot display dot alpha will be 0. this dot display dot scale will be 0, but we're not going to go to that. It'll be too big. Save duration. Okay, so we have that. Good. So I want to actually open the box. So we still want this. So what we're going to do, so we have that movement component, but movement and action is not really the same. So we're going to make an action component. As you can see, these components is a fairly versatile way of organizing code. So let's do an action component. We actually know this is going to be a sprite. So that's good. Probably no property for now. Let's save this, open. So we're going to attach this to our player, and then from there, so const scene, when we press space, this dot game object dot scene. So scene dot input dot keyboard dot on. Let's do key down space. And when that happens, we want to open. So we're calling, how should we do this? We then want the current box to be opened. So let's see. We can send an event out to the scene. We can get the box. So let's just see, how are we doing it here? This dot open box, active box. So we don't know what the active box is. Let's see, there is multiple ways of doing this, but when this happens, we can send an event to open a box. So let's say scene dot events dot emit. So we can emit events to the scene. And in this case, it's going to be, let's say this action is open box. Okay, so it does that. And then in our scene here, we will want to listen for this dot events dot on open box, and then we're going to handle it. So let's say this dot handle open box with context of this. Come down here, handle open box, and it'll be handling opening the active box. And so let's just do a log here, open box, just make sure that's working. Go to the scene, let's go to our player, add the action component, save it. So whenever we add the action component to our asset pack, save. And the item holder probably. Import script, save. Okay, so we're going to press space. Okay, space. Good. Come up here. So in our logic, what we're doing is if there is an active box. So if not active box, we're gonna do nothing. We can't open a non-selected box. And then we're going to do item holder dot get component of the active box. So let's call this item holder. We're going to get the component of the item holder. But if for some reason we don't have that component, we're not going to do anything. And then item holder dot reveal. So let's delete this log, save, run. So no box selected, press space, nothing. Here's a box, press space. Something happened. Can I read add of undefined? Oh, there, right. copying and pasting code without some sort of checking help is dangerous. Scene.add, let's do it again. And there it is. Here is the guy. So now we also want to make sure that he is sufficiently, let's go to 3000, sufficiently high in the depth, since if we're depth sorting on Y for all these other things. Boom. Great. So there it is. And then we're going to want to hide it as well. So let's see. What else we got in this part? So you see there's a lot of code here that we no longer need, given how we've now structured our code. We don't need the switch and all that stuff. Okay, this is all good. Done. Okay, so in the next part, part 4, we are going to do the match check. And when there is no match, we're going to hide the item that we revealed here. You'll see reveal works here. If I do it again, which is wrong. So let's fix that first. Before we end this part actually, if revealed, so we're going to do this. So if this.display.alpha is greater than or equal to 1, we are actually going to not reveal again, already revealed. And let's run this. Right. Is it maybe no? If this.display and let's go here, okay, and it does not get revealed again. So actually what we can also do on this component itself is start user code get is revealed, so return this, and then if this dot is revealed, so this is a getter property, do that, and then also in here, if not item holder, if item holder dot is revealed, also don't call reveal again. Don't call reveal again. So return, save. So we have multiple checks here. Good. And it actually shouldn't even turn green. And so let's see here. Handle open box, handle box collide. Let's go here. If active box return, right. Box. If item holder and item holder dot is revealed, return. So what we're doing here is getting the item holder component out of the box that we just hit. And if it's already revealed, we're not going to bother setting it to the active box, which will avoid it ever actually even being opened or any of that. So let's just show you here. It will not turn green. So because it's already selected, it's in a selected, or it's in a revealed state. So you can't reveal it again. So that's good. All right, so now that is part 3. Now in part 4, we're going to look at checking for these matches. So this penguin and this duck don't match, and they should then both hide. So come back for that in part 4.